Okay, hold on. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Welcome to another podcast. I haven't done this in a while. Let me just change this to chat filter. Wait, it's been a while since I've done this, so 5 minutes. That'll keep the people off my back. Anyway, I'm finally doing a podcast for another Star Trek movie. It's been a while. It's been at least 2 months or so since I did Beyond. So this is one that came out years before. The last one of the original series with the original cast. Star Trek 6. The Undiscovered Country Special Edition. Yeah, this movie's an hour and 53 minutes, so let's get started. I chose this one also because I want to get this one signed at Comic-Con by the original actor that was in it, George Takei. He's going to be at Comic-Con in a few weeks. See, I go places because I'm not a loser. For Richie and Rottenberry, rest in peace, sir. And rest in peace to half of these cast members because they're all, like, most of them are gone. The only ones left are Shatner, George Takei, and the guy that plays Chekhov. Everybody else is gone. Well, Kim Cattrall's in this movie. She's still around, but she's hard to work with. If you've seen her interviews, you know. And also Christopher Plummer, rest in peace as well, man. This is one of the best ones of the 90s, definitely. Before First Contact came out, this was the best one. Because Generations was just kind of underwhelming. Not horrible, but, you know, could have been better. You have Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard, yeah, Walter Koenig, he's still alive. Nichelle Nichols, yeah, I miss you a lot. George Takei, he'll be at Comic-Con on October 10th, so hopefully he's not expensive because he's 88 years old, and I might not never get it. I'm David Warner, another actor that's no longer with us, man. Because this was 1991. I was 6 when this came out. Rosanna DeSoto, I don't know if she's still around. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry in this one. I've only seen this movie a couple of times. Kurtwood Smith from RoboCop, he's not going to be at the convention. Peter Weller is, and Nancy Allen. Iman, yeah, that Ethiopian model from the 90s. Cliff Endelman does the music, not Randy Endelman, who did Angels in the Outfit. I'm sorry it took so long. It's just I had a lot of stress last week. You know, I had some family issues I'm not going to talk about here. You know, I had some plans that I had that some worked and some didn't. And a lot of stress on social media. So I'm back and I'm doing these podcasts almost full time. I'll say part time. I'm not going to do one every day. But the next 3 days I am. Leonard Nimoy, yeah, I miss him too, man. This is one of the better ones, yes. Rottenberry had just passed away, so they did this in his memory. It's like when Jim Henson died and they did Ninja Turtles 2 in his honor. This came out when I was 6, because the first movie came out in the 70s. I wasn't even alive yet. When the first, like, 3 films came out, I wasn't born yet. I wasn't born yet until, like, 4 or 5 came out. I think 4 was 84 or 85, around there. So, yeah. It's like with Star Wars. The original films, I wasn't born when they came out. T. There he is. The first one you see is Sulu, so I hope I meet him. There's the Enterprise. Plus, this is when The Next Generation came out on TV, around, like, in the late 80s. The makeup looks pretty good in the movie too. Yeah, these effects still look great, even for 1991. This was before. This is the same year Terminator 2 came out, which was a huge hit. That was the biggest movie of that summer. But this one did pretty well. Sci-fi still bangs hard, guys. Yeah, because who knows if how much longer Takei is going to be alive? You know, I want to meet him before that happens, before he passes away. Because you know, I met Kurt Fuller last year, and he's in his 70s, and you know, I met a couple of people in their 50s and such. But you never know when someone's going to die. I mean, Michelle Trachtenberg passed away this year, and she was only 39 from diabetes. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't her biggest fan, but when she passed, it was sad because I didn't see it coming. I thought it was an accident or something. Praxis. A Klingon. At least this movie's under 2 hours, so that's good. Most of the most movies I chose are not 2 hours long. There's there's Captain Kirk. Where's Spock? Yeah, I miss a lot of these actors so much. I wasn't a big fan of the TV show when it came out because, again, I didn't grow up watching it. The Star Trek I saw when I was a kid was Star Trek The Next Generation because, again, that came out in the 80s. This came out in the 60s when my parents were kids. The mid 60s, yeah, the early 60s because these this show and it was ahead kind of ahead of its time. There he is. The late Nat Leonard Nimoy. This is the last time he played Spock until the 2009 movie. I wish he never smoked. He would still be alive today. Because it damages your lungs, guys. You think, oh, I'm vaping, so I'm never gonna hurt my body. You're putting chemicals in your lungs that can never be reversed. That's why I don't vape. I want to keep my lungs clean. Because I have to get one actor from Star Trek to sign one of my DVDs. Because Star Wars, I got a couple of actors from before they passed away: David Prowse, Peter Mayhew, Kenny Baker, and what's his face, Jeremy Bullock. I met them and I got pictures with them. So I got pictures with them, and and this is when you have to take a selfie with a regular Polaroid camera, not a digital camera, because I went in '99 when I was 14, so there were no digital cameras back then in '99. Maybe in Japan, but not here in the U.S. And I never had a problem with Shatner the way he talks. I know people make fun of him, but I'm like, guys, he's been an actor for decades. He deserves more respect than these actors that are like half his age that can't act at all. We're 11 minutes in. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while. It feels good to be back because I wanted to do another Star Trek movie. This is when they're wearing the red uniforms, not the classic ones for the TV show: yellow, green, blue. Uh, what was it? Another one? The other red. This is like a burgundy red. The other red was like uh, like a charmeleon red. They're animals. Was Generations PG-13? I don't know if it was. I don't remember, but I know First Contact was PG-13. It's a good scene because they're like a mile away from each other, but you could feel their chemistry from a distance. That looks great. I did see the first episode of Alien Earth, but I'm not going to talk about it until after I finish the season. There she is. I really wish that Kim Cattrall wasn't as hard to work with as you think because she's so gorgeous and such a talent, and yet she's hard to work with. That's why she never came back to Star Trek after this. I think it was Kirstie Alley was supposed to be in this, but she was too busy doing Look Who's Talking, so she wasn't available. It's such a shame that some people can't get along with each other. That's why I don't want to meet people that are jerks at Comic Con. Just not my thing, guys. I want to meet people that are decent, who are going to treat me with respect. Denise Richards didn't have to give me a compliment, and she did, and that was really nice of her. That was super chill, and it made me feel good inside that people acknowledge me because I like to. Because I've seen her in other films, Police Academy, Big Trouble Little China, the first Sex and the City movie, and she had tension then. Well, some women can't get along with other women, especially foreign women. Just it's a damn shame. Some people just don't. Instead of being graceful and thankful to be with other people, no, they have an ego a mile long. I don't. When I don't like somebody, I stay away from them. It's that simple. NCC 1701A. Yeah, that's on the show. Space, the Final Frontier. Oh, that's another movie. Hmm. Because some people, their ego is it just it goes too far. Look at Jared Leto. Look at what's her face, Katherine Heigl. Like that's just, I hate her because of what she did. I get it. I get it already. She has an ego. That's why she doesn't do a lot of films anymore. It's a shame that these people have money and good looks and they can't. That's never enough. No, they want to control everything. Not me. That's not what I do these podcasts for. It's a nice painting. We know all things do end, but my podcast will continue. I don't end because of one technical glitch. That's not me. I don't give up so easily. I needed a break, and I took a break, and I'm rejuvenated now. She has a sexy voice. Why would on earth would you not get along with Sarah Jessica Parker? I almost said Sarah Michelle Gellar. Wrong actress. I don't get it. You don't like her nose? I mean, I keep my ego at the door when I go to the convention because when I'm at Comic Con, we're not just a bunch of strangers in a room. No, we're all nerds. Everybody that dresses up in a costume is a nerd, whether no matter what race, country, or origin that they come from. We're all in the same boat. We're all nerds. Let me lie down. Just when he touches her face, right? Because I did all the Star Wars movies I'm ever going to do. I'm never doing the sequel trilogy. You couldn't pay me enough to do those, or Rogue One or Solo. And I did the prequels. I'm not doing the Clone Wars movie because it's kind of pointless. My lowest watched video was a live stream was the Scooby Doo one because it was from the 70s and people don't know what it was. This should do better than that. A spaceship. Mm-hmm. There he is. Gorgon. I miss that actor so much. Hmm. That was a good line. Some people you have to tolerate and some you don't. I can understand Kurt's bias. I get it because, you know, Klingons have been bothering him since the first season of the show. Yeah, I miss him a lot. Plummer was such a great actor. He won an Oscar years after this. After Knives Out, I was just like, yeah, I miss him a lot. I wasn't the biggest fan of Sound of Music because it's too long. It's a good movie. It's just way too long. It's almost 3 hours, and it doesn't need to be that long. The songs are memorable, and the Julie Andrews performance, and the kids are cute, but it's like 20 or 30 minutes too long. It could have been 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it would have been fine. 22 minutes in. Trust me, I hit on her even in her 60s. I don't care. My ego is, like I said, out the freaking window when I meet people at Comic Con because I'm like, they're there to meet me and interact with me and smile and take a picture and just be human. There's a big table. They don't have blue milk. They have like blue water or Kool-Aid. Title drop. Scotty's like, what? What? Ale. Okay, so it's ale. I love ale. I drink ginger ale all the time. It's good for the stomach. This doesn't have as much action as the later Star Trek movies, but it's got a lot of atmosphere and good conversations, and they're in space, so. Human rights. Wink, wink. This has, this has, this has social commentary. See, Spock got a little bit uneasy because Leonard Nimoy was Jewish, so his people did go through the Holocaust. Yeah. Kirk's like, I don't want to look at you. Brave New World, yeah. That was the name of the last Captain America movie. It's too bad it didn't make as much money. But we did get what DC gave me that, so I'm happy about that. Sweet Sorrow. Diplomacy. What diplomacy? Countries are blowing each other up for no reason. That's why I don't want to get involved. I bet I was very tired last night. And there it is. Is that a bone or tusk? Hold on. We are betrayed. It wasn't them. Those are cool suits. There's some blood in this. Killing Klingons. Digital blood. Gotcha. Or subtitles. That's paint. It wasn't him. Yep, reverse. Yep, they always need doctors. Get up. Sulu was only at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if he comes back later in the film. The costumes are really good in the film. It's a really good scene. Touched his hair. Now he's dead. They didn't do it. They tried to save him. Yeah, this one has a lot of tension. Because 5 was a joke. It really was. The Final Frontier, the story made no sense. It could have been a lot better. This is why Shatner never directed a movie again in this franchise. I know. Smith. Get this orange so I could eat it later. No one is. Oh, that's Renee. I miss him a lot too. He was in Batman Forever. He did the voice of Professor Genius in Little Nemo. Yeah, he was a good actor too. I miss him a lot. This still holds up. This movie's going to be 35 years old next year. Sabo. Sabotage. Too bad. They had to killed off David Warner because he was doing Ninja Turtles 2 at the time. Professor Jordan Perry, which is a major character in the movie. He's not a cameo in that. She's like, really? You want the cat? Do you want the audience to have to read? I could mute this scene because I'm like, I don't really want to read subtitles, especially in the fall coming up, because I'm like, I read so many of them during the spring and the summer. I'm like, yeah, I want to take a break from that in September. Yeah, people don't want to read subtitles. It's why Dune didn't make $1 billion, because people don't want to read. They have books and comics for that. You don't need to read even a newspaper, which still exists. Give me this. Mm-hmm. Klingons don't have tear ducts. Is that why they don't blink? Forty-five minutes in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the OJ trial back in the 90s. Like that Ninja Turtles episode. That wasn't a joke. It's too bad I didn't get to meet Christopher Plummer before he passed away. Oh. Yeah, I believe him. I do. That's a really good line delivery. I tried to save him. It's like in Superman when he says, people were going to die again. That's really good acting right there. Kurt. Oh, yeah. His full name. Excuse me. Disgusting. See, this is a trial. You're not on trial when you're doing a YouTube video. It doesn't make any freaking sense. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. New evidence, people. New evidence. I really miss Christopher Plummer a lot, man. He could act even when he was old. Knives Out 2 probably suffered because of his lack of his presence, because he died at the end of that first movie. Take this hat off. This isn't a Marvel movie. We're halfway through the movie in a minute. There's Sulu again. He comes 52 minutes in. Excelsior. Mm-hmm. It's like the void in Deadpool and Wolverine. We're almost an hour in. Here it comes. Two suns. Look at the snow. Snow is like the planet Hoth in Star Wars. Look at that. Look at that creature. Yikes. They're not messing around. They were framed. Look at that. This is where they meet Amon about an hour into the movie. She has beautiful eyes and dark skin. This creature makeup is well done. Really well done. And this is before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. And the Star Wars prequels. Because this is 91, so they still did amazing makeup effects back then. Again, more great makeup. There she is. Wouldn't fit. Weed? You gave him weed? That doesn't keep you warm. That damages your brain. That's racist. An Ethiopian woman smoking a joint in a Star Trek movie, yeah. Yeah. I knew that we're going to bring, because weed is legal now. I don't know why people smoke it. I hate it. I hate the smell. It's bad for your lungs and for your brain. People don't know that because they're stupid. They put things in their mouths they're not supposed to. I don't smoke. It's not good for you. I like breathing air. My lungs crave air. So they're cooking a chicken. that was a turkey, not a chicken. Those are turkeys, yeah. Were they celebrating Thanksgiving not in space? It's nothing. See, that looks like a creature from Guardians of the Galaxy. Makeup effects still look great. Because in Guardians of the Galaxy, they were in prison in the first movie. Remember? That was real fire. It's not CGI. Yep, he shattered his knees. That hurts. Oh, it's the lower region. That's not his knee. I don't smoke weed. I don't do it. It's almost done. We're an hour and 6 minutes in, so 40 something minutes. Mm-hmm. Gorkin. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It wasn't us. Ta-da! Her and Sophia Botella are the hottest women in these franchise. Well, of course, Nichelle Nichols was too. She was black, so my preference. Yes, ma'am. The first guy is like, really, Kirk? You gotta kiss another woman of color? It's my preference. I would do that all day if I had to. That's Christian Slater. He has a cameo here. Yeah, I forgot he was even in this movie. That was Christian Slater. I forgot he was in this movie. It's a cameo. He's not one of the leads because he comes so late in the movie. So late. 69 minutes in. They're scanning everything. You saw? That was a woman as a knockoff Planet of the Apes character. Oh, look at his feet. It's like ET like feet. He his alien feet, like E.T. This is not as emotional as E.T. This really is a good Star Trek movie. It's really good. If it had more action, like First Contact, it'd be one of my favorites, easily in my top three. But my favorite is First Contact because it's Star Trek as an action movie and it works really well with a new cast, with the Next Generation cast. This is not as boring as Star Trek Insurrection. It bores me to death because when they land on that planet with Donna Murphy, the movie just drags. It drags so much. Again, did I mention the makeup is really good in this film too? There you are. She's a shapeshifter. She looks like one of the loud girls. Lana or Lola, one of the cute twins. That it was a cool effect that she turned from a Planet of the Apes knockoff to a little girl. That little girl's got to be in like her 40s now, because this was 1991. I was 6, so she's got to be like my age now, or older than me because I was 6. Yeah, this is like Hoth, or that snow planet that Kirk goes to in the 2009 movie, because it happens around this time in the film. Of course, that's a longer movie than this one. That is a really cool shot. Good thing they're wearing coats so they will get freeze to death. This was a good idea, and the chat was off. I guess I could shut the chat off because no one's gonna join. So, hold on, because nobody's gonna join. So, it's fine. At least you're watching it, guys. You can leave your comments after this is over. But no dumb comments or they'll be deleted. Yeah, that's the cold mountains. Another far off shot that's really well done. See, this is what you call cinema. ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to make everything CGI. You don't have to have a $400 million budget. You don't have to throw everything in my face. You can have far off shots. Denis Villeneuve does that really well in the Dune movies. You can see every shot that he does is like art. Even in Arrival and Blade Runner 2049, you see every single shot that he gives. It's something that actually works because we want to see far off shots. We don't want to see everything this close to see somebody's nose hairs. I mean, come on. There. Yeah. Hmm. She's a better actress than Rihanna. Rihanna can't act. She's a singer, not an actress. Plus, she has a sexy. Mm-hmm. You have a pleasing shape. You punched a woman and didn't get canceled. See? Does she have green blood like in a Rick and Morty, like a Rick and Morty episode? Yes, it is. That would be crazy. Somebody that can look like you. It's a good camera trick too, and they use a body double in some shots. It's Kirk fighting himself. There's the creature again. Mm-hmm. We're almost done. 83 minutes in. We got about an hour. We got like 20 something minutes left because it's an hour and 53 with the end credits. Without it, it's probably like an hour and 45. It's long, but it's not the longest Star Trek movie, not by a long shot. Into Darkness was way longer than this, and it was not as good because the second half becomes a rip off of that. More subtitles. Every time there's a movie with a Klingon, there are no Klingons in Star Trek First Contact. That's why it's my favorite. There's not as many subtitles. I don't think there's any subtitles in the movie because the villains are the Borg Queen. So they don't speak in another language because they're Klingons in the first one, in three, and this one. It's like the Nazis thing in Indiana Jones. They do it 3 times. 3 times they do it. The first movie, the third movie, and the fifth movie. That's a bit repetitive. Why don't you get some new villains? These two had the Thuggies and the Indians and the Asians, and then there were Russians in the fourth movie. So they're cooking. So they're chopping vegetables. Some movies are way longer than this, that's for sure. Not just Star Trek, but Star Wars and Avatar and some of the what you call it, the Harry Potter movies and James Bond are way longer than this. Hmm. That was for giving Sarah a hard time. They're both Canadian, so that makes sense. Ames, it's in. Mm-hmm. Here comes the hand scene. They would never do this in a Star Trek thing today. Here's my hand. Eye in your face. Mm-hmm. He's touching her face. I don't like people putting their fingers on my face like that. Yes, it'll be all up in her face. They never did this to her in Sex and the City, in any of the episodes or the movies. Touching her face. Yeah. Like doing this to her face. What do you... So you're having an orgasm? Oh! I know, I'm childish, guys. That was either a cry for help or, she just had it. She just climaxed. Oh! There's Sulu. Yeah, we're in the third act of the movie. I'm almost done. It was an exhausting week, but at least this week coming up, it won't be as exhausting. Transfers 3 is a shorter movie than this when I do that tomorrow. No. Shatner's 90 something now and he can still act. I miss you, man. That's another awesome shot. A daytime scene. Most of the scenes have been at night or in space. What are you clapping? The movie's not over yet. I do that when the movie's over and it's good. This is still good, yeah. For something that's 34 years old, it's held up really well. Considering the lack of green screen and all that, because nowadays everything looks like a CGI cartoon. He's like, we're all human. I'm like, I find that insulting. I'm like, I miss him. He lived a long life, but it would have been longer if he didn't smoke. Told you smoking is bad for you. Earth. I'm glad I bought this one on Amazon last year because I want to get it signed at Comic-Con. Any of these DVDs or Blu-rays get signed at a convention. That sounds Asian, right? Chang? No. I miss you, Christopher Plummer, a lot. Don't worry, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Just my eyes are still got some eye cookies in there. Yep, fire. There we go. It is, therefore, Kelly. It is. It's a slow move burn, but it's got great visuals, great performances, costumes, makeup. You know, it's got a lot of great technical things, and even the story is interesting. That's why I'm invested, and it's not overly long. If this was Avatar, it'd be another hour long, and I'm like, I can't deal with that. I'm sorry. Not this year. Enterprise going into warp speed. And Sulu, while he's not in it that much, he's in it. He's in it though. Because Christian Slater, that was literally a cameo. He was doing Ferngully at the time, so he didn't have time to be in this movie long. He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm gone. Fire. Well, I still prefer Star Wars only because I like there's more action in those movies than these, but these old Star Trek movies are still better than the recent Star Wars that we got. This has the original cast, so it's okay. Hit. 100 minutes. It is. Man, they blew a hole in the right in the front of the Enterprise. Fire. Yep, it's headed towards you. Yep. Yep. Now you get yours. Yeah. That was awesome. A practical explosion. Again, suck on that, Last Jedi. Suck on that. And Rise of Skywalker. So a Klingon wants to kill. A sniper. Yeah. Yes, this happened last year, but I'm not going to say anything. Gotcha. That was a good stunt. Yeah, there is some blood in the movie, even though it's a PG movie from the 90s. That's when PG meant something. Now it just means kids' movie. No, it's not. It's not a Klingon. It's a human being. It was Renee. Yeah. It was a mask, like it's Mission Impossible or something. I miss that actor too. No. In the future, I'm going to Comic Con in 2 months. That's the not too distant future. But I live in the present, not the past. Deal with it, people. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I know. Moving from the basement to my brother's room was. Yep, the slow clap. It's a touching moment without it being making me sad. This was like Return of the Jedi. It was a fitting end to the original series. You didn't need another one. The next one was like 3 years later with a new cast. But it has a downbeat ending. I don't like the ending of Generations. First Contact was much better. It was the one that. I hope he makes it to Comic Con so I can meet him. George Takei. He's one of the few living legends of this franchise. I miss you, Leonard Nimoy, Len. You were, and you were very human. His mortality is what kept us watching him for many years after this. Straight until morning. That's Peter Pan. At least Kathleen Kennedy can't ruin this franchise. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. Next generation. The next generation. No man has gone before. This was fun. It's a fitting end. And that was Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. Yeah. It's a good movie. It's an hour and 48 minutes, so this is the original cast giving their signatures, and then I'll stop the movie. Walter Koenig, yeah. James Doohan, yeah, may they all rest in peace, the ones that have passed away. DeForest Kelly. It's like the ending of Endgame. Leonard Nimoy. It's like they're doing an autograph in space. That's nice. And Shatner. That was a good movie, yeah. Well, that's it, you know. It wasn't the end of the franchise. We still had the Next Generation movies. And then after that, we had the 2009 movie and then all these other shows that came out. But it's a franchise that'll live forever, just like Star Wars, you know, before Disney got greedy. But anyway, at least that was Star Trek 6. Thanks for watching. The few of you that did, I'm sorry the comment section was altered, but hey, I did the podcast early. But live long and prosper. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow will be Trancers 3, another movie that should have been the end. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you then.